Hey guys, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video on the tropics. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about our three expected tropical cyclones in the Eastern Pacific. We have three disturbances, two given very high chances, one given a medium chance now to develop. And we're also going to be talking about the Atlantic and the current persistent conditions. Before I go into details, okay, and so let us kickstart things with the Pacific disturbances. And so we're seeing here that we have, as I said earlier, two of them are highlighted in red, which means that the chance is high for these systems to develop into tropical cyclones. And we have that other one being highlighted in orange, which means that there is a medium chance for this thing here to develop into a tropical cyclone. And so the next three names for this hurricane season are HILDA, IGNACIO, as well as JIMENA. And so it is possible that we could have these three disturbances becoming three-named storms. So the ones highlighted in red are both given a high 90% chance to develop during the next 5 days, and the one in orange a 60% chance during the next 5 days. And so that is actually a new disturbance, or most recent one. And so we're having this increase in chance due to that highly favorable environment to accommodate all three of these systems here. So again, guys, it is possible that we could have these three systems developing into HILDA, IGNACIO, and JIMENA, maybe as we're going to be heading into this weekend and going into early next week. And so now let us take a look at these systems on satellite view close up. So first up, let us talk about Invest 99, and that is our most westerly disturbance. And so we're seeing here that it is not very organized right now, but it is getting in shape and will continue to do so because that environment is expected to remain conducive to enable it to intensify. And so as time goes by, we will start to see more rotation and organization of the system. And looking at Invest 90E, that is the other disturbance highlighted in red, we're seeing here that it is looking quite disorganized as well. We're not seeing much rotation with the system here, but of course, as I said, for our previous disturbance, as time goes by, we will see it looking better. Same scenario for our newly identified disturbance. No organization as yet, but they are all getting in shape. In terms of what our models are expecting in terms of the intensity, let's take a look at that. So for Invest 90E, our models here are expecting that it will achieve tropical storm status, but a few anticipating a hurricane, one expecting some rapid intensification of a Cat 4 system. And in terms of our other system, Invest 99E, most of our models here are expecting that it is going to be achieving tropical storm status. A few are expecting that it will achieve hurricane status. And so guys, this is not impossible for these systems to become hurricanes, and fortunately, even if they do, they will not be threats to land because they're out in the open. And so looking at the ocean temperature map for that region, we're seeing here that ocean temperatures are very warm, especially closer to the western coastline of the Americas. And so as they accelerate more westward, they will still be in a region that is very favorable in terms of the ocean temperatures to enable them to intensify. And so as I said, fortunately, even though it is likely that we will have three simultaneously active tropical cyclones, they will not be threats to land. And so now let's move on over into the Atlantic. And so we're seeing here that we don't have much going on for the Atlantic really, just some areas of shower and thunderstorm activity, but no disturbances as of right now. But that could be a different story as we head into August, because things are expected to become more and more active. And so in terms of the Saharan dust, we're seeing here that we still have a lot persistent across the main development region. And we do have that area, that cluster of shower and thunderstorm activity a bit south of the Cabo Verde Islands, and that's going to be accelerating westward. But as it encounters that Saharan dust, it is possible, or likely rather, that we will have the dissipation of those thunderstorms because, of course, it induces a dry environment, and our tropical cyclones need warmth and moisture. So there will be no moisture to fuel our systems. And so in terms of the rest of the basin, the Caribbean doesn't really have much dust, and the Gulf of Mexico is relatively clear right now. So if we would have a disturbance moving into the Gulf, it would probably develop or rapidly intensify, especially for the fact that as we head deeper in the season, conditions will get increasingly favorable. And so now let's move on to the wind shear map. And so we're seeing here that we have quite a bit of unfavorable shear, which is indicated by the reds across the Eastern Caribbean. The Gulf has mainly favorable shear, same story for most of the Western Caribbean. And out in parts of the main development region, we do have an area of favorable wind shear as well. But as of right now, we don't have any disturbances moving into these regions or any disturbances in the Atlantic basin overall to keep an eye on for potential development. But if we did, we will definitely have to watch them because conditions are so favorable and will keep getting increasingly favorable to accommodate our systems when they are trying to develop. And so now let's take a look at what GFS is showing. So is GFS still anticipating some sort of development as we head into early August? All right, let's go. And so this is a map showing the isobars, which are lines of equal pressure. And the closer you see them in a circular manner with the pressure below 1030 millibars, that is a low pressure system and can be our tropical cyclones. And so that's what we're looking for. And so this is by Saturday, the 7th of August. And over in the EPAC, we do see a 996 millibar system. That's definitely a tropical storm. Fortunately, offshore of Mexico, most likely not causing any significant impacts. And then out in the Atlantic, we do see 1013 millibar system. So GFS was showing something a bit stronger by that time yesterday in the model run, and so we're not really seeing that now. Let's go further. And so this is by Sunday, August 15th. And so we're seeing here that we have no tropical cyclones across the North Atlantic basin. So GFS is now not expecting development to take place off the system. Maybe we will have a disturbance, but not developing. So this is probably what GFS is showing, but changes are inevitable when it comes onto the weather. And of course, this is a pretty far out forecast. So of course, as time goes by, we will get a clearer view of what the outcome might be. And so we just have to wait and see what's going to be happening, but it is most likely that August will see maybe a few storms or so because conditions are expected to get increasingly favorable. And so guys, that is it for this updated video. So again, it is possible that we could have 3 simultaneously active tropical cyclones across the Pacific, the Eastern Pacific, namely HILDA, IGNACIO, and JIMENA. And in the Atlantic, it is possible that we could have some development taking place. And so guys, regardless of the Atlantic being quiet right now, things are expected to kick up as we're going to be heading closer to the peak, which is in September. So it is very important that if you live in areas that are usually affected by tropical cyclones, you take all the necessary precautions and stay safe so that in the event of a tropical cyclone actually affecting your area, you are well prepared and not wait until disaster is at your doorstep to start having certain things in place. So it is best to always be prepared from now. And so if you found this video to be quite informative, please give a thumbs up, and you can also share your thoughts in the comments or ask a question. I will try to respond as best and as soon as I can. And just remember to always be weather wise, and of course, I will keep you updated as time goes by.